Okay, so we've got Eduardo and Thiago online. Hello. And lots of people in the classroom. Okay, so full house tonight. Welcome to our ACCA Getting Started class. Okay, so I'm going to be speaking in English throughout. If anyone would like me to speak a bit more slowly, let me know. Okay, if anything's not clear, also I'm more than happy to go through in more detail. And it's really an opportunity for you to get to know about ACCA and about the program, and also to ask lots of questions. Okay, so we will have an opportunity for questions at the end, but you are more than welcome to interrupt me as we go through with any questions. Okay. Just a little bit about us first. So we are an ACCA Silver Learning Partner, and there are globally around 300 learning partners linked to ACCA globally. We are the first one in South America and the only one in Brazil. Okay, so we're in quite a privileged position with that, and it means we get a lot of support from ACCA with the programs that we offer. We were founded in 2014, okay, and we offer other what we call postgraduate certificates, international certificates, as well as ACCA. So we have CFA as well, Chartered Financial Analyst, as well as ACCA programs. And we also have other courses. So we have financial English, report writing, presentation skills, all in English, business valuation, and in-company courses. So for example, we offer workshops for the new IFRSs, International Financial Reporting Standards, for 15 and 9 and 16 we've done recently, so which are the big new ones coming in. And then we're also recognised by the Conselho Federal de Contabilidade for continuing professional education. We're very fortunate to have a representative from CFC. So we get, that means accountants will get credit on our courses. Okay. And then we have partnerships with ABVCAP, which is the Brazilian Association of Private Equity and Venture Capital, and also APIMEC, which is the Association of Finance Professionals, Investment Professionals. And so we work with them on certain courses. So what's different about us? We're very focused on courses in English. So we're offering something that's international, a bit different. So the idea is to enable professionals to compete globally. So that could be within Brazil, in an international, multinational organization or a global bank or a big company, but it could also be outside Brazil. So the idea is to build skills that are going to be recognized outside Brazil as well for anyone who wants to work abroad in a technical area. And we have small classes, so we have around 10 students in the classroom. And we actually, as it says down here, jumping, we have people joining just like now, online, as well as in the classroom. Which means that we have students from all over Brazil. Sometimes, actually, we get students from Sao Paulo who want to join online, partly because of the traffic problems or whatever. It can be logistically quite difficult to get to the classroom. However, we are in a good location right next to Controladoria metro station, so from that point of view, it's not too difficult to get here, depending where you are. And we focus on international professional qualifications, such as ACCA and CFA, in the finance, accounting, and valuation areas as well. So we've got business valuation courses also. Our tutors or teachers have relevant professional experience, so they've worked in financial markets or in accountancy themselves, so they bring that to the classroom. And they are all they all have passed the exams that they prepare students for, so that's another important thing that I ought to have put here. Okay. We offer study material also, which we source from the UK generally, and we have a proven study methodology for helping people with exams. So learn, practice, and then consolidate. So learning the content first, practicing it, applying it, and then consolidating through mock practice exams, okay, specifically for the exam preparation courses. And just to give you a bit of an overview, in the 4 areas that we offer courses: accountancy, business valuation, finance, and financial English. We have workshops and short-term courses, as well as the postgraduate certification. So here we're here to talk about ACCA today, but we do have other options as well. And we have some programs educational partnerships with certain companies. So it might be that your company is in our list or on our list, which is on the website. And our alumni get a 5% discount on future courses with us. So we like to encourage people to continue studying. We have lots of options, so there is plenty of potential future growth in additional courses. Okay. And we also offer lectures or talks which are free of charge, and we record them and we put them onto YouTube. So if you're interested in finding out more about CFA, for example, you can watch a recording on YouTube and find out more about that from one of our previous talks, or you can join the next one and sign up online just as you did for this talk. Okay. So just about where we are. Okay, this is our building, just next to Consolação metro station on Avenida Paulista. And this is basically how the classroom looks. So except we have one TV screen here. We've got students joining online, students in the classroom. Okay, so it's quite interactive. And just some previous events that we have had. So this is in our classroom, a different one actually downstairs, and this was a business valuation course. We had 2 students from Porto Alegre who you can see online, and then everyone looking quite happy with their certificates, of course. And they all have their laptops there because it's a practical course. So the first day, it's a 3-day course. The first day is theory, and then the next 2 days are done actually building a model in Excel. So that's why everyone has their laptops. And then here we had a visit from 2 representatives from ACCA, Afra and Rania. So Rania, we're always talking to Rania. She's responsible for Brazil at the ACCA head office in London. So she comes to Brazil approximately 4 times a year and has meetings with companies, with universities, because ACCA is starting to be built into university programs. And this was a financial English class that we did at INSPA. We actually had 50 students in the classroom for an English course, which was challenging. So we split everyone up into pairs to do the practice. And then this was a talk about careers in finance at Mackenzie that I gave. Just general information about working within finance. So just an example of some examples of events. And as mentioned before, with only silver learning partner, ACCA learning partner in Brazil, we offer courses to ACCA, CFA, and our tutors have connections with the financial markets. It's just some of the connections we've got, and they have all the exams that they prepare students for. So I teach some classes, but we have other tutors as well. They all are strong professionals, and they know how to prepare students for the exams. Okay, so a little bit about me, not too much, but I now run SHP financial training, but prior to that, I have 10 years of professional experience at Ernst & Young, EY, as it now is, in the UK and in Brazil. So I started my career, actually did my undergraduate degree is in economics and management from Oxford University, and I went on to do a training contract at EY, and I studied accountancy for 3 years when I was doing that. So you need to get your accountancy qualifications, including ACCA, so you need 3 years of professional experience as well. So I got my professional experience and did lots of exams, and then I moved to the Bank of England, which is the UK central bank, and I decided to do the CFA exams because I felt I wanted to know more about the financial markets as well. And then I moved to Brazil, and I went back to EY into the valuation team. So then I started to get more interested in valuation, and I did some valuation exams. We were lucky enough to have an instructor coming from the US actually to teach the American Society of Appraisers ASA1 and ASA2 exams when I was at EY. And I've done some other certificates as well. You might have heard of the ACCA Certificate in International Financial Reporting. This is quite a good starting point for anyone who wants to improve or develop their IFRS knowledge, International Financial Reporting Standards. This is a really good introductory certificate that covers most of the standards, And it ends with a short, I think it's a 1-hour assessment, just to make sure that you've picked up what you need to know. So it's a good way to start. And we have some board members, so we are quite well governed, I would say. Good governance procedures, which you'll find out more about in the ACCA program. And they're well connected. They provide us with advice and help make sure the school is moving forward in the right direction. And our tutors, so we have around 20 teachers who have professional experience, so they work as well as teaching. Our classes are in the evenings or on Saturdays. So the ACCA classes are all on Saturdays. And we try to do more than just teaching in the classroom, because a lot of what we're doing is preparing students for exams. And that means that you guys need to study at home as well. So we offer orientational guidance regarding what you should be doing at home in order to prepare for the exams. And we also offer networking and access to job opportunities, meaning if we have a tutor, for example, who is looking for someone to join their team, then we will advertise that vacancy amongst our students. And then events, so we have events like this one, where we have a speaker who is me today, talking about a specific topic. We've had other events. We've had an event about business valuation, talking about the business valuation profession in Brazil, how it's changing, what the requirements are.
Lost?
Don't know. All right, sorry about that slight interruption. Okay, so a couple of our tutors, Pam and Anthony. Okay, so Pam is actually Australian. She's lived in Brazil for 20 years, and so she's also a member of the CRC, and she has an MBA in corporate finance from IBMEC, also in Rio. So she's actually working at the moment in Sao Paulo, and that means she's been able to teach for us on Saturdays. I think she might be going back to Rio, so it may be that we offer more teaching in Rio soon as well. Anthony is based in, he's English, he's based in Sao Paulo. He has been in Brazil for about 30 years, but he qualified in England as a chartered certified accountant through ACCA. He has his own business, and he is focused on doing consulting projects, accounting projects, basically helping companies with difficult problems that they have in the accounting area. So some good professionals. And just so you know, these are the main employers at the moment of ACCA in Brazil. So ACCA is still quite new in Brazil, but you can see we've got 3 of the big 4 represented here, and then also mid-tier firms, so BDO, Grant Thornton, ERCO, which actually has quite a few PwC partners, and Mazars. And actually, some of these, like for example, Mazars is in the top 20 ACCA employers globally. I think PwC is number 3. I don't remember all of the numbers, but ACCA has brought together a report showing which companies employ the most ACCA members globally. Okay, so these ones do. And then within Brazil, particularly Natura, has quite a few students studying with us for the ACCA exams. Okay. So you can see ACCA helps you stand out to employers because of the strategic thinking, technical skills, and the professional values that you get as a result of working through the program. And ACCA actually works with approved employers. So these employers, most of these, are approved by ACCA, which means that they automatically, through their internal training programs, meet ACCA continuing professional development. I think there are some other benefits as well as a result of that. And you also have connections through the ACCA Careers Job Board. So if you're looking for a job, for example, in the UK, maybe, you can have a look on the ACCA Careers Job Board and you can see what's available. So lots of opportunities there. Just briefly, so these are some of our clients, not all, to work with professionals from big banks or big companies, because generally they're the ones who want to do these internationally recognized certifications. courses. So that's why you can see some big names there. Not exhaustive, the list. This is a student who actually lives in Dubai, and I thought it's quite an interesting testimonial from her. So she found when she moved to Dubai that she needed to have some sort of additional certificate to show that she knew about accountancy and could. One of the requirements in the job vacancies that she was looking at was an internationally recognised certificate like ACCA. So she started to study with us, and I think that's actually going to help her. Okay. Okay, so just a little bit getting into more of the details about the program. So why might you study ACCA? How does the program work? What can you do to pass the exams? Okay, and then we'll have time for some questions and answers. So ACCA has around 200,000 members globally and 486,000 students. So that tells us that it's growing very quickly. And you can see by these little red dots, they show you where the presence of ACCA is. So a lot in Asia, okay, and then Europe, Africa, not so much yet in South America, few offices in the Caribbean and in the US. Okay, so basically, and I shouldn't forget Australia and New Zealand actually, because ACCA in fact has strategic partnerships with national accounting bodies around the world. So that includes one with the Chartered Accountants of Australia and New Zealand. Also, they've got lots of partnerships, but the ones I've heard about recently in a meeting with ACCA was one with Jamaica, Pakistan, Australia and New Zealand. They were just talking about how they work on different models with different countries, but basically they do a lot of work through these strategic professional bodies, strategic accounting bodies, in order to, I guess, to actually improve the accounting profession globally. And I think one interesting thing about ACCA is the director of ACCA got an Order of the British Empire, an OBE, from the Queen of England for her services to accountancy. So it's quite impressive, really, I think, what they're doing. So they work through, maybe another thing that's interesting here, 323 quality checked tuition providers. So we are one of those. That's the Learning Partner or Learning Partner Program.
How many members do you know in Brazil?
Okay, so we have in Brazil around 15 members so far. So we have a long way to go. Yeah, but we do have around 100 active students. And in fact, we've had more than that signing up, but they've not all continued, I think, because they've not really, maybe they've not been so aware of the benefits of the program, and also they've kind of drifted off a bit because it's not been that structured. So we've tried to structure the program more to help improve pass rates and to help people get through it. But it's growing, and we keep hearing more and more interest in it. So it's a very good program. And I think, and I know ACCA are focusing on building relationships within Brazil with companies, with regulators, and so I think that's going to make a big difference. So it's something we're going to see growing. Also the universities. So I know FGV, Mackenzie, Fipi, Buki, I think, are all talking to ACCA about including ACCA content in their undergraduate degrees, okay, which will make a big difference because people who have those undergraduate degrees will get exemptions from the ACCA program and won't have to do so many exams to complete the certification. So ACCA has done, they're very forward-thinking. They've done a lot of research into the skills that are going to be required or are required by accountants of the future. And so you've got technical skills and ethics, but you've also got intelligence. It's about applying your knowledge. So in the exams, they really test on how we apply our knowledge in a real-life situation. Or similar. Creativity. So using our knowledge in a new situation, being able to apply it to something different that you've not seen before. So they will test that in exams as well. Digital. And they've actually moved to CBE exams, computer-based exams, for almost all of their exams. So that means when you do your exam, you will actually be working as you would at work in a Word document or in an Excel document. So emotional intelligence, and in there they've got a case study called the Strategic Business Leader. And this one you actually have some leadership style problems. So you've got to think out of the box a little bit more than you would typically, just learning technical skills as an accountant. Vision, so anticipating future trends, reacting before you have problems, and then experience. Okay, so there is a practical experience requirement in the ACCA program. You need 3 years of experience, which you can get before, during, or after doing the exams. And there are certain competencies that you have to show. So that brings in the experience level. And the core here is the technical and ethical competence. So I like to show a little video it's Kieran McManus, who's a partner at PwC, who's Irish, has been in Brazil for quite a long time though, talking about the benefits of the ACCA program. And basically they kind of can be summarized into location, so you can work almost pretty anywhere you want in the world, salary, which is on average higher for qualified professionals. My salary, for example, doubled when I completed my certification as an accountant. And then career progression, because you have the competencies that employers need. So I'm just going to switch and show this video. It might be that it doesn't work very well. If it doesn't work very well, then I will send it to you by email afterwards. It's here, loaded.
Eu entrei na época, era trabalhando em Inglaterra, eu trabalhei lá com era tirar a qualificação, tinha o ACCA, que é legalmente equivalente ao ACCA que tem, e naquele mercado, até naquela época, era muito bem conhecido o que era qualificação. Tinha, quem entrava com ele na empresa, tinha o principal objetivo era tirar aquela qualificação. E a gente trabalhava, aprendia outras coisas, mas o principal objetivo era tirar porque a gente sabia do valor daquela qualificação. E era, de novo, você sabia que tirando primeiro em termos salariais, seu salário iria do braço, e achar alguém facilmente que ele faz a dobro que você está recebendo. Primeiro, do ponto de vista financeiro. Para chegar em quase qualquer país com essa qualificação atrás do nome, o nome facilita muito. E é interessante, quando eu chego no Brasil, o número de pessoas com quem eu falo, de qualquer idade, que querem morar no exterior, que querem ter uma posição de ter uma experiência de morar no exterior, é muito grande. Agora, e essa qualificação era, para mim, que morava lá, era um passaporte para ir onde eu queria. Então, para quem mora no Brasil, vai ser a mesma coisa. Para quem quer ir para outros lugares e procurar outros desafios, esse aqui é um passaporte para ir onde quiser. Eu posso te garantir que, com isso na mão, ninguém nunca mais vai questionar sua nível em inglês e nem sua capacidade técnica. O desafio é grande, mas, por outro lado, o benefício é muito grande. E eu vejo as pessoas que conseguiram passar os benefícios que eles têm. E eu diria que talvez um dos maiores benefícios que tem é não somente a qualificação em si, mas a confiança que dá para a pessoa para ir às outras coisas. Se você consegue passar no desafio dessa natureza e tirar uma qualificação dessa natureza, aí já abre portas para fazer muitas outras coisas. O pessoal sabe que como a qualificação do ensino você tem capacidade para fazer muito mais e ir muito mais longe. A dificuldade aqui no Brasil que eu tenho encontrado que pessoas não conhecem as qualificações internacionais, não conhecem quanto que vale essa qualificação. Basicamente tem a qualificação na de origem inglesa, do ACCA, e tem a qualificação americana do CPA. E essas dois são qualificações muito bem reconhecidas em todo o mundo todo. E os dois trabalhando em criar um curso que vai dar os primeiros passos para a qualificação do ACCA, e assim, hora que as pessoas começam a entender o que é qualificação, e tem um volume maior de pessoas que andam nesse caminho, aí acho que vai abrir, acho que vai ser muito legal, porque aí vai ter uma qualificação internacional, e aqui no meu departamento, onde onde eu trabalho, eu preciso das pessoas com essa parte de fundo de conhecimento financeiro do mercado internacional. Eu preciso de pessoas com qualificação em inglês. Eu fico feliz para ver as pessoas que têm a qualificação, que vão buscar outros desafios, do mundo, porque a qualificação te dá confiança. Por exemplo, não, eu tenho a qualificação embaixo do braço, eu vou para onde eu quiser e vou fazer o que quero. Essa qualificação, ele faz um diferencial brutal. Tanto que, de novo, se você procurar na internet, vai achar várias fontes de informações onde tem propaganda para saber em várias partes do mundo e a principal inscrito sendo essa qualificação. Então, isso de novo, no meu caso, é um passaporte, eu acredito, para os brasileiros, para as pessoas que têm acompanhado, tem sido um passaporte também. Não somente para morar em outro país, mas para fazer várias outras coisas.
So this, moving back into English, was a presentation that Kieran did at FGV so I remember I mentioned that ACCA is working with universities in Brazil. So FGV has a kind of memorandum of understanding with ACCA, and they've built in content from the ACCA program into a master's degree at the moment, and I believe they're working towards adding it into an undergraduate degree, which means that students will get exemptions from some of the ACCA exams. Okay. So you can see it's something that is not well known in Brazil yet, but it has a lot of value, and as Kieran said, it makes a diferença brutal to have this qualification, and as he said as well, no one is going to question your English once you've got that, because it proves that you've got an academic level of English and you're able to pass these exams. So this is the program. It's quite a lot of detail, but basically there are in total 13 exams. So you've got 3 exams here at the beginning stage, and this is called applied knowledge. So this is basic knowledge about how businesses work, what accountants do in businesses, the business environment, and then we've got management accounting, okay, which is budgeting, variance analysis, activity-based costing, and then financial accounting, which is an introduction to how accounts are prepared, so trial balances, the T accounts, and a little bit about IFRS, IFRS structure, how it's created, the regulatory, the bodies that create IFRS. Okay. And then you get a diploma in accounting and business. Okay. So you have partial certificates as you work your way through the program. Then we move into applied skills. So this is where you take the technical content and you have to apply your skills, your technical knowledge to a specific situation. So you've got corporate and business law, and we have different, this little star means you can choose the variant. So you could choose English law, you can choose Singaporean law, Hong Kong law, Chinese law, a whole load of options. Okay, you don't remember them all off the top of my head, but lots of options. Brazil, not yet, but that might be future development though. Performance management, which builds on management accounting. Okay, so lots more variance analysis, budgeting, that kind of thing. Taxation, again, you choose the variant that you want to study. Financial reporting, which is basically IFRS. Okay. And there's quite a lot on consolidation in here. So if you work for a company that has subsidiaries, or the parent company, then that would be particularly useful. Audit and assurance, so looking at the controls that you need to have in place that are going to be audited, how the audit process works. And financial management, which is about the financing of the company, how the company raises finance, debt and equity, and investment appraisal. So how do we choose between different investment projects? Interesting. This is quite, in some ways, close to CFA. There's some concepts from CFA in here. Okay, and then after completing those 6 exams, you get the advanced diploma in accounting and business. Okay. And there are a couple of other things, like in order to get the advanced diploma, you actually need to do ethics and professional skills, which is an online module. Okay, but the main thing is the exams. You've got 6 exams here. If you are already an accountant, meaning if you have an undergraduate degree in accounting, then you get exemptions from the first 4 exams. You do not need to do the first 4 exams. So you start here, performance management. And that, for us, is subject to an entrance test. So we have an entrance exam for anyone who wants to come in and start from the 2nd level, just to make sure you're okay with the technical knowledge. Because it could be you did your degree 10 years ago or 20 years ago and your technical knowledge is not really up to date. Also, it could be that your English is not quite where it needs to be in order to do well in the exam.
And we skip from Chinese law.
And skip the Chinese law. Yeah, which can be quite good, right? So there are advantages. Okay. And then we move into the strategic professional level, which is very interesting because it's focusing on strategic skills that an accountant needs in order to be not just an accountant, but a business leader who is also an accountant. Okay? The idea is to create the leaders of tomorrow, the finance directors who are going to drive change in their companies and really add value. And so we've 2 essential papers. So you must do these: strategic business leader and strategic business reporting. So strategic business reporting builds on the keep missing the F. I don't know why. IFRS knowledge. So you're building on that from financial accounting and financial reporting. Yes, up here. Okay, so we've got 3 papers actually that focus on IFRS, and then the strategic business leader is a case study paper. Okay. That one brings in lots of skills. Okay, so that's the one. Remember, I was talking about the professional quotients and the leadership skills, the emotional intelligence. Other skills are not just the technical skills; they're brought into strategic business leader case study. And then you finally pick 2 exams from a list of 4 options. So this depends on the direction you want your career to move in, or the area you're already in. So you've got advanced management, which builds on the financial management paper. Advanced performance management, which builds on the performance management paper. Advanced taxation, again building on the tax paper, and then advanced audit and assurance. So depending on your area, you will choose to specialize in certain exams there. And then you get the full certification once you also complete 3 years of professional work experience. And this is another optional qualification you can get, which is a Master's in Professional Accountancy from the University of London. And you can get that just by completing 2 online modules in addition to all of the ACCA exams. Okay, so it's quite a good option if you want to get a Master's from a university in London, the University of London. And just, I think, worth commenting as well that this qualification, ACCA, is officially recognised in many countries as equivalent to a master's degree. So this is when you should be, if you're thinking about doing a master's degree, this is an alternative. So it's another option. Master's degree, ACCA is equivalent. The difference is it's very focused on the workplace and the skills that you need for work. So the whole program is built as a result of conversations and surveys that ACCA has done with accountants globally, finance directors globally, to find out what the skills are that they need their professionals to have in the workplace. So it's very focused on the application of skills in the workplace, which is why there's the professional experience requirement as well. And so I'm not going to read through this in too much detail. You can see this on the ACCA website, but these are the objectives of each exam. So you've got the accountant in business, tells you how businesses operate effectively, efficiently, ethically. Ethics is very important in ACCA as well. Management accounting, okay, so planning, controlling and monitoring performance. Financial accounting, so accounting techniques, preparation of basic financial statements. Okay, and then you get the diploma in accounting and business. Okay, then we move into the skills exams, applied skills exams, performance management, so planning, decision-making, performance evaluation and control, which you would do if you work within a company in the management accounting team. Taxation, I've just put United Kingdom, but there are other variants. Financial reporting, okay, most focusing on IFRSs. Applying accounting standards, being IFRS, and the theoretical framework and the preparation of financial statements of entities, so the conceptual framework from the IFRSs, audit and assurance, financial management. And the strategic business leader covers technical as well as professional skills. So you've got technical areas, leadership, governance, strategy, risk, technology, data analytics, organizational control, finance and innovation, and change management. So these are all important skills that we need in today's world. With things changing so quickly, they need to absorb and understand a lot of data. How can we analyze it, understand it, and need for leadership, governance, so vital skills. And then we've got professional skills, which are developed through this case study, including analysis, skepticism, evaluation, commercial acumen, communication, and all tested through the integrated case study. So communication, for example, can you absorb material that's given to you in the case study and produce a report that people can understand? It's got to be understandable. So you've got to be able to communicate your ideas in a way that's clear and people can read, can understand, and take the value from it. Okay. And then commercial acumen, that's about understanding what's going on around you. So I did some teacher training on how to teach this case study, and we were talking about how to teach commercial acumen. How do you teach commercial acumen? How do you acquire that? It's about reading the news and being aware of what's happening and being able to apply the technical knowledge that you've got to what's happening in the real world. So that's about the commercial acumen, which this case study focuses on developing. And this is new. So this was introduced by ACCA this year. Yeah. Quite an exciting new development. And then the other exams, the strategic business reporting, this one has to be done by everyone, and then these are the optional exams. So you would choose the ones, two, exactly, you choose two, the ones you want to focus on. And the MSc from the University of London, you just need to do the strategic financial project, it's called, and then the global issues for the finance professional, 2 modules which you can do online in order to complete the qualification. Okay, or it could be that you want to go and study in England and do it there. Another option. Okay. And this is just a little summary. So you've got the different levels in the certification. So you've got the diploma, the advanced diploma, and then the strategic professional stage. The exams you need to do, so you've got the 3 exams here, 6 here, and then you've got 4 exams here. So in total you've got 13 exams. And then we have online modules you've got to do. Foundations in Professionalism, which is an introductory ethics module to get the diploma. I mentioned it briefly. And then ethics and professional skills to get the advanced diploma. Those are online. And so it's estimating that it will take, and our courses are spread out over 3 months for each exam. So it's going to take 9 months to do the diploma, and then 18 months if you need to do each of the 6 exams for the advanced diploma. And then we've got 6 months for each exam at the strategic professional stage. Okay, so it's a program that's going to take around 4 years, if a little bit more. 3 years of practical experience you need to get anyway. So it is quite a significant program to take on. It's something you have to think about, be ready for, and it should be something you're considering as an alternative to a master's program. And you can actually get a master's as well. We have continuous enrollment because we've got courses starting every quarter or every semester, okay, depending on which level you're looking at. And then if you were interested, you can also get an undergraduate degree when you are at this stage, okay, because the content here is equivalent to an undergraduate degree. You can get an undergraduate from Oxford Brookes University by completing a research project. So you pick the topic, you need mentoring, provide mentoring, and then you get your undergraduate degree. Okay. And then the strategic professional, you can get the master's if you want.
Remotely or?
remote. Oh, you can get it all remotely, yeah.
And the first step there, we have to have the degree.
If you're, exactly, and also this one.
So we get 18 months.
Plus the 24.
Yeah.
Now this one, it might be less if you, yeah, I mean this one, because so at the moment we have students taking these courses here. We don't have anyone doing this yet. So I'm estimating it's going to take 6 months, but it could be for each exam, but it might be that it's possible to do it more quickly. The reason I've put a 24-month guideline there is because I don't want, if we rush it, then people might fail the exam too many times. So that's why I've put a 6 months per exam guideline there. Yeah.
Can you talk about the 3 years of experience?
Yes.
Okay.
I have, yes, I've actually got a slide. Here we go. Perfect. The next slide. Anticipated your question, yes. All right, so you need 36 months of employment in an accounting or finance-related role. You need to achieve 5 essentials, which are here. So professionalism, I'll go through that in a minute, and 4 technical performance objectives to the satisfaction of your practical experience supervisor. So that means you need someone to sign to say that you have achieved those competencies. But it's not difficult. It really is not difficult. I mean, so when I did this, it was a physical book, and I had to put my initials next to the competencies that I had achieved, and I got my supervisor to put their initials next to them as well. Now it's all done online, so you fill in a report showing what you've done, and you get your supervisor to sign it on the online system to tick a box and say, I certify that this person has achieved these competencies. And so that's all done online through the My Experience record in My ACCA. So when you become an ACCA student, you get access to an online portal called My ACCA, and within that you have My Experience record. And so the essentials, you have to show that you've demonstrated professionalism and ethics, stakeholder relationship management, strategy and innovation, governance, risk and control, leadership management, which might sound a bit abstract maybe and you don't quite know what they mean, but if you go into the My Experience record, you can see exactly what it is they're asking for, and it's something you should fairly easily be able to achieve. And then you pick 4 technical performance objectives, so depending on the area you work in. So they fall into corporate reporting, financial management, sustainable management, accounting, taxation, and audit and assurance. So I think it's hopefully likely that you will fall into one of those categories and be able to pick up 4 of the technical performance objectives. Okay, and remember it can relate to experience you've already got. Okay, so you can go back. You can already have completed this experience requirement before you start the exams. Any more? And so this is how each of our courses is structured. So we've got the methodology of learn, practice, and consolidate. Technique is critical for these exams, particularly the applied skills exams. Okay. The knowledge exams, it's more testing your knowledge. You do have to have the knowledge though. Whereas the applied skills is not just about having knowledge, it's about being able to apply it to a specific situation, which is why we have practice questions in the classroom. So we've got 6 teaching classes, and we cover the whole syllabus in those 6 classes, which are these classes here. Then we have consolidation of that through a practice exam, and then we have practice. I suppose the order's a little bit different. Practice through 2 additional classes. The first one is a review of the practice exam that we've done and feedback on it. And we talk about how students did, what the problem areas were, how to improve so that the same mistakes aren't made again. And then that's all in preparation for a specific exam. So this is the next program that we've got running for the exam on the 4th of March next year, and it will be 15th of December for audit and assurance. And then we've got a couple of deadlines here. So the first one is, in order to jump through, to not do the diploma level, we're asking accountants, also if you have a finance degree, you should get exemptions from the 3 diploma exams. And if you have an economics degree, I think you get 1 exemption. If you have an administration degree, you get 1 exemption too. It just depends on your degree background, and we will help you with that. So if you have exemptions from the diploma stage, then we will ask you to do an entrance exam in order to start with the advanced diploma stage. So the deadline for that is the 30th of November. It's just a 2-hour practice exam, which you can do at home. And then we've got the reservations enrollment deadline on the 7th of December, 1 week before the course starts, to give us time to get the material ready, confirm the course, etc., get everyone prepared. And all of the material is included in the course. So you've got the classes covering all of the topics. It's actually the whole syllabus, not just the core topics. And then you've got 2 review classes. You've got online learning material. We usually use a provider called BPP, which I actually studied with them in London. A really good provider of material. They also do provide teaching in London as well. They are accredited by ACCA, so there's lots of material online. Slide packs, which we give to you. We use the slides in the classroom, but you get them so you can read them before each class. And then we've got progress tests, 6 progress tests, teaching phase of the course to make sure you're on track. And we have a practice exam under timed conditions, which I mentioned in the previous slide. And you get individual feedback, and also within the review class, we give group feedback on the exam. And as well as that, we've got an email and a WhatsApp group for answering any questions, and exam countdowns, so how many weeks to go before the exam and what you should be doing at that point, because you need to do study at home as well. Not enough to just come to the classes. That's an important factor. Although we cover all of the content, you are going to need to practice it at home doing practice questions. That is vital, because otherwise you won't be able to apply it. So we do practice, we do have the review classes, but it's not going to be enough. So you're going to need to study as well. So again, it's quite a commitment. But it's worth it in terms of the value of the certificate. Okay, and then we provide recorded classes as well. So every class is recorded, and we keep the recordings for a week. So if you miss a class, you can catch up by watching the recording. Also, if you want to go and watch a class again, you can. The recording is there. So we help you with resource planning by setting the timetable, by giving you guidance what you should be doing in the countdown up to the exam. By focusing on the right things, so there are some things that are really critical to understand, we emphasize those in class. And by practicing questions through the practice exams, and by reviewing questions you got wrong, why did you get them wrong, what can you do to improve your performance, and then just the general discipline about starting early, following the classes. We encourage students to read the material before each class so that you come to class prepared and get more value out of the classes. So it's a program already there to support you. Okay, and this is just a bit repetitive actually. The same thing, resource planning, discipline, focus, practice, review, to keep everyone on track. So we are a silver learning partner, ACCA Silver Learning Partner. We're actually applying to be gold, so I'm quite happy about that. This is quite an achievement. We have experienced, highly qualified and trained tutors. So we've got small classes, which means you get lots of individual attention. And we've got the flexibility of the live online classes as well as the recordings. For anyone who wants to come into the classroom, we're at a good location next to Consolação Metro Station in São Paulo. And good value for money because all of the material is included in the courses, and we have the small class sizes, so you really get quality tuition and lots of attention. And these are the values, which I'm not going to go into too much detail on, I don't think, because we have Anna, our salesperson, here. So if anyone would like to talk about exactly the mechanics of signing up and things, I've actually got a slide on this, but I'll just briefly explain. So you've got, to sign up for the ACCA program, there is a fee, which is, we do your registration with ACCA for you. So all you need to do is provide us with, and it's on the next slide actually, but a copy of your diploma or accounting background, or whatever your academic background is, and it doesn't need to be translated. It can be in Portuguese, and we will translate it for you. And you'll fill in our application form, so we get your details, which we need to register you with ACCA and also with us, and proof ID, basically. So it's quite easy. And then if you are going to skip, if you want to take advantage of the exemptions and skip the diploma stage and go into the advanced diploma, then we will ask you to do the Exame de Matricula, the entrance exam, okay, which you can do in your own time. And it just has to be done by the 30th of November, so we've got time to enroll you in the next course. Okay, then you've got the diploma, so remember that's 3 exams, and that this price includes all of the preparation, all of the materials, all of the exam fees, everything. And then you've got the advanced diploma, which was the 6 exams, and then the strategic professional, which is 4 more exams. And so it's, I think, priced quite well compared to a master's program generally. Remembering you also need to study a bit at home on your own as well, okay, with our support, so you can ask questions and things, okay, but we provide you with, as I mentioned, all of the material, the courses, the WhatsApp group, the email support, and you've got the flexibility of the online learning, the recordings, okay, so it's really, we do really support students through this whole process. Okay, so, oh, here we go. Already talked about that. Okay, so we've got a sign-up form here, and you just need to click on select ACCA registration, or it might be ACCA matricula actually. Yeah. Okay. Then there's the sign-up or matriculation fee, and if you are going to skip the diploma exams, then there's the 2-hour entrance exam in English. And then we need your degree certificate or certificates and photo identification, which could be your RG or passport. Or yeah. No? Okay, so really? Okay. There we go, even easier. Okay.
Only the ID.
Do you need the ID, right? Or no? Okay. Oh. Okay, so it will come with a photo, but I think it sounds like you don't need some form of ID. I think it has to be photo ID, but anyway. Okay, so any questions? I think that was maybe quite comprehensive. We covered a lot of information.
This 2 hours exam is multiple choice, or
it's multiple choice, and actually it is actually one of the diploma exams. So depending, we ask you, oh, where they're here. So the practice exam will either be accountant in business, management accounting, or financial accounting. So we choose a particular one depending on what the next course is that's coming up. But I allow people to do, first we've started asking people to do all 3 of them. And now I just ask for 1, because I think it's enough. If you can show questions from all of these 3, and then we ask you to do an entrance exam. We're asking you to do the entrance exam because we want to see that you've got the English and the ability to answer the questions in the exam, basically. So it's not exactly just a test of English, but it's just to make sure that you're going to be okay when it comes to moving into the advanced diploma exams, because they're quite a lot harder than the diploma exams. So we just ask you to do 1. So at the moment, we're asking people to do accountant in business. Right? Yana, which one did she do? FA, financial accounting. Yeah. But okay, so financial accounting, because our next course is audit and assurance. So it's good to have the financial accounting knowledge to help with audit and assurance.
A good warming up.
Yeah, exactly. A warm-up. And you get 3 attempts at the practice exam. So there are actually 3, we give you access to an online portal, which is an ACCA portal, and you have access to 3 practice tests. for one of these exams. So if you want to do it now, we will give you access to the financial accounting practice exams, and you will get 3 different ones to try. It's not the same one. You get 3 goes. So we're making it, you know, because I understand that you do an exam first, it's new, takes you a while to get used to it, and you might go a bit more slowly. So, okay, then you try again, you can try 3 times. And if you don't pass, then we ask you to take the exam at the diploma level before you move to the advanced diploma level. Okay. Because what we were finding was people were starting on the advanced diploma level and not managing to get through the program, which is demotivating, and I don't want people to be in that situation. So we've introduced the practice exams.
My question is along the time, for example, 18 months. So this is the maximum time or minimum?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people has to reconcile with the working agenda. So how it works in practice?
So we have set quarters when we do each exam. So for example, performance management. Let's start with audit and assurance. So we do audit and assurance for the March exam. The exams happen 4 times a year. I should make that clear actually. You can take exams in March, June, September and December. So we have 1 course for each exam sitting. So for March we have audit and assurance. For June we have financial management. For September we have performance management, and for December we have financial reporting. And then we have people who are doing tax need to do an online module, which they do after they've completed the other exams with us. So then it's online. Why is it online? At the moment we're offering it online only because you can pick the variant you want to do, and I'm not forcing everyone to do the English law currently. But it could be that we just offer a course for the English law, just depending. But at the moment we're at the stage of offering courses just for financial management, audit, financial reporting and performance management. Okay. And so what will happen is you'll do the course at your own pace. So if you want to take 1 exam per quarter, because it fits in with your work commitments or whatever, then that's fine. We'll sign you up. We'll get you. We do a Solicitas Algae Matricula, and it's basically tailor-made for you. So it sets out which exams you will do when. And if you want to have a break, for example, because it's audit busy season, then you can skip and do that exam for another quarter. On another. Yeah. Does that?
So it can be more than 18.
It could be. Yeah, it could be. This is the minimum I would expect it to be, because I don't think you would be most people, unless you are studying full time, it's going to be very difficult to do more than 1 exam per quarter. So we offer 1 per quarter with classes on Saturdays, because all of our students work pretty much. So that means only Saturdays and Sundays are available for studying. So Saturdays we have the classes, and then you will need to do some additional studying, which can be at the weekend or it could be in the evenings. But realistically, 1 exam per quarter, which means it's going to take you at least 18 months or 15 months if you're an accountant and you don't need to do the law to complete the advanced diploma. Okay. Any other questions? And you can ask me in Portuguese if you want. Maybe Anna. So Anna is our consultant. She talks to lots and lots of people about ACCA and helps to design the programs that are going to work for each individual. So, don't know if você tem algum comentário. Sim. Can I just ask you?
Aqui agora o passo, basicamente, é o exame de matrícula, né? Acho que todos vocês são contadores, eu passei com você do Renan.
Não, não sou contador, não.
Ah, é da administração, desculpa.
Mas
você não é também, né? Só você
sorte. Ou não,
legal. Para quem é contador é um caminho e para quem não é outro, né? Então, isso é importante ficar bem claro, porque assim, para quem é contador, nesse instante, a partir do momento que toma a decisão de tornar de entrar na trajetória do ICCA, precisa fazer o exame de matrícula com a gente, né? Esse exame de matrícula, as pessoas ficam com medo. Com quem eu falei aqui, né?
A Susan falou coisas mais bonitas.
A Daniela conseguiu, né? A Daniela conseguiu ver Você conseguiu ver que lá tinha exame de matrícula, né?
Tinha o exame de matrícula, eu fiquei meio
Ficou com medo.
eu falei, nossa, vamos ver o que é antes de fazer alguma coisa.
Mas o exame de matrícula não é um bicho de 7 cabeças. Tá? O exame de matrícula, na verdade, ele só vai acessar a isenção que você obteve para esse né? Aí, e se eu reprovar? Se reprovar, é uma questão de que a gente vai ter que nivelar, é nivelamento. Vamos dizer que é uma reprovação no caso, é nivelamento. Porque se você parte para o próximo passo e você não está preparado, é ruim para você.